Like, they're still growing. I'm like, bro, and at the end of the day, like I said, in this league, you don't skip the line. How many years were Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together before they actually got it? How many years was Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson together before they got theirs? Feel me? Like, you got to pay a price. Denver. OKC right now. OKC was the 1 seed last year. They got bounced early. They was just paying their dues. Indiana even paid their dues after a while.
We talking about back-to-back 50-win seasons.
Oh, man.
We talking about Tim's on your court. 30-point wins. 20-point wins. 20-point comebacks.
Phantom, is that you?
It's the motherfucking Big Shot Show, nigga.
Yes, sir.
Danny Phantom in the
Yo,
cut.
Big Shot B in
Big
the
Shot
cut.
B.
Back 50 of these Johns.
Listen, how else do we put it? Like, it was an can't even see. Can't even a historic season to say the least.
Yeah. A lot of, yeah.
It came to an end the way we wanted to, but we are definitely striving for more. We will cover what led to us getting packed, what we want to do in order to pack everybody else, and
bro,
and the reasons why we might have just packed our third winningest head coach in franchise history. But yeah, keep it locked. Motherfucking Big Shot Show.
Shit, son.
Talk to me, B. What's the word?
Man, sad way to go out.
For sure.
Yo, I feel like, no lie, everybody in the city felt like we was going to the finals, bro. I really felt like we was going to the finals. Not because, I wasn't overlooking Indiana or nothing. I'm like, yo, bro, they beat Boston. Like, bro, they just running on a high. Like, they running on a high. Like, these guys, they're figuring it out.
And the ways in which, first of all, because it's been a minute. So, round one, can't even skip.
Like, they
round go into round one.
Bro, and listen, and I'm gonna tell niggas something. I know the niggas that said Detroit in 6, Detroit in 7. I know all of y'all motherfuckers, son. Like, I know that y'all was really trying to act bad, trying to nick for clicks. I see that. I saw it.
Yeah.
And trust me, I got that rain down, bro. I'm seeing the vision.
There was a large contingent of people who would have had Detroit, or excuse me, the Knicks as the only team that's most likely to be beat by an underdog.
You hearing that? Like, bro, like, that shit got me so mad. I just wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm like, oh, bro, like, y'all over here talking about Detroit and what? Detroit, all they did for 6 games was just be physical. Now, they won a couple games being physical. Because, listen, the Knicks got a terrible whistle, son. Like, they whistle is all garbage.
All playoffs or just
all playoffs, bro. Like, they let defenders kill Jalen Brunson. But you can't touch, I can't touch Cade Cunningham. He's 6'6". He don't even need these calls, bro. Like, come on, so he finishing through some of these plays, like, bro. But listen. I'm not gonna forget. Yeah. I'm not gonna forget. Motherfuckers talking about Pistons in 7, Pistons in 6.
Bro, games 3 through 6. I'm looking at it right now. Margin of victory.
They were all close games.
Total 10 points.
Yeah, they were all close games.
That's 4 games.
They were all close games. But it's like, bro, like, that's literally. And then you got people trying to use that as a part of, like, their take when they were wrong. It's like, bro, we knew Detroit was going to play us good because they played us good in the regular season. But it's like, what advantage they got over the Knicks? They don't have the best player. They don't have the better coach. They don't have the better ancillary pieces. Like,
I think the simple fact that 1 or 2 key possessions can decide each game is what led so many people to believe, the Knicks are known to fuck up.
And you think Detroit, like, who is Detroit's second best player this year? Malik Beasley, he's the 6th man.
Tobias Harris.
I literally got the best 2 players on the floor. So, if Cat Wallen, I got the best 2 players on the floor.
Right.
Feel me? Like, they're more experienced than you. They've been here. Some of these dudes played in the finals. You think they're not gonna beat Detroit? Like, come on, so I'm not gonna forget that. I'm really not gonna forget that. They did what they had to do.
So you hit Asar Thompson with a crossover tween, feel me? Pull up for 3, pack him, move on to Boston. You are now the underdog. The script flips quickly.
Immediately. Like, that's it. Nobody thought they had a chance. Nobody. Listen,
most Knicks fans contingent would say,
you're rooting for your team. I respect it.
I was just watching to see how the ship was gonna go down.
I'm not gonna sit here and be one of those fans and try to be by like, oh, I was rooting. We get it. Yes, we were rooting for the Knicks to win. But did you really think they were coming out that series? Like, did you really think like, yo, they're gonna beat Boston 4 times?
People don't understand how delusional you need to be a Knicks fan.
Feel me? So it's like when they won the first game, I'm like, oh shit. Like,
hold on. Cause see, like I say, it's episode 50.
Word.
You gotta really, and this is like I say, a legendary season. So let's break down that game 1 real quick. Starting from the moment where oh shit, we're down 20.
We're down 20. I'm telling myself, I just hope they keep it cute. Y'all lose one, y'all go back to the drawing board. Let's try to go get
you saying lose with dignity. If you're
lose with dignity. Like, cut this to 10, lose by 10, fight. They doing that. They clawing back into this game. They marching. But in my head, I'm already like, yo, it's a 20-point lead. Like, Boston just has to make a couple of shots, and they'll win the game. But I was a shit. Boston wasn't making shit. So I'm like, bro, even when they did make a basket, I'm like, it's a given. They have to make this. Otherwise, they just choking crazy. Like, but they have to make this. And they
left.
Yeah. But they weren't making anything. And then, like, New York get closer and closer and closer. And then Brunson take over. And it's like, that's it. Like, listen, get well soon, Jason Tatum. You were outplayed by Jalen Brunson in this series. Jalen Brunson was the best player on the floor in that series. With all due respect, get well, the whole 9. But the game got close. One dude was wilding. The other dude was taking his step-back threes at 6'8" with Jalen Brunson guarding him. You're going to lose that game. Mikal Bridges, fuck them picks. I don't care what nobody tell me. Fuck them picks. Generational steal. Needed that. That's one of the steals, because we're going to get into game 2. Like, he get that steal, and we take game 1. I'm like, all right, we great. We took one. I don't even care about game 2 no more. Because I'm like, if Boston come out, they could clip us by 25. I'm not going to care. Because I got one in Boston already. They didn't think that we was going to do that.
You stole home court.
You stole home court. I can't wait to go back to the Garden. Game 2, they getting killed again. Bro, but at this point, I don't even care. I'm like, bro, we did our job. They start doing it again. They're clawing. And I'm like, yo, we really going to take 2? Or like, I don't believe it.
They're not going to give us 2.
They're not going to give us 2. And then
going back to the crib,
Tatum gets that dunk that dunk immediately in the last.
That was the dunk with the high screen
with the high screen on Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, like he gets the dunk. I was glad he dunked it. I'm like, yo, you went too fast, because now we have the final possession of the game and we only down 1. And I have the best player on the floor. And what the fuck happened? The best player on the floor happened. And then you come back around
on one of the best defenders in the league. A lot would say.
Now Tatum, you trying to run it again. You trying to run that same play again. Julio, do you not know who my coach is? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So,
but a heavily defensive-minded head coach obviously saw and read and made an adjustment. Along with Mitchell Robinson, who started, shuffling.
You had to pick. Now Jason Tatum had to pick. Am I going to tackle Robinson or I'm going to tackle OG? I don't want nothing to do with OG. I'm going to take Robinson. Stupid. Mitchell Robinson going to stay with you. Because Mitchell Robinson is generational.
If he's generational. This offseason is that.
That is generational ancillary pieces.
Game changer.
Forces you to the corner. OG right there. Piranha right behind him. You're not getting to the cup. Stupid. Jaylen Brown was right there getting covered by Mikal Bridges. Now it's 2 seconds left. We're going to go trap you now.
Spacing was just all off.
Spacing was terrible. Now you saw that you weren't going to get that shot off. You tried to pass it to Brown. Stupid. I'm right here still. And we took 2. When they took the second game in Boston, no lie, we had to win. That you couldn't lose that series anymore. Yeah. Because what's the excuse?
I ain't gonna lie, it had Vegas in a frenzy. A lot of analysts would not knowing what to say, no dude who to pick, who to root for.
Couldn't explain it.
The underdogs were somehow up as favorites. The favorites were somehow down, but they were still the favorites. And now, it was just a lot going on.
You're not supposed to come back from 20 like that. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
Now, looking at the season in hindsight, I did say, before the series, I wanted the Knicks to make it competitive. If it was gonna go out in 6, go out in, feel me, don't go out in 5, go out in 6 or 7. That was my whole
punch.
thing.
Yeah, punch.
You feel me?
Give us something for next year.
Get a couple dubs. You feel me? I'm gonna have to watch these highlights for the next few months. Let me get a couple.
Yeah,
more
let me get some real shit. Yeah, exactly. Let me get some shit to look at. Facts. And like, that's that.
Let me
That's
see some
that.
good basketball.
Let me get some good basketball.
And lo and behold, they won the first 2 games. You go back. You understandably give up a game 3 that Boston had
to win. They had to win it. They had to win it. There was no way you were going down 3-0. You cannot.
But
the reigning champions couldn't do it.
I didn't even go to the conference finals, and that concept of choking in the conference finals, I was kind of waiting to see if the Knicks were gonna clutch up and actually win the series after going up 2-0. Because it wasn't a given that they were gonna win the series.
Nah, even when they went up 2-0, people still felt like Boston could come back and win the series.
Dallas lost the Mavericks. I'm sure we lost the finals after going up against the Heat.
Feel me? Like it's it's not out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's different when Dallas lost both home games when he lost to the Heat in the finals
in 2006. Yeah.
I mean, so like you lose both home games, things change. But for New York, like it was just kind of like and you know how the fan base is. Like you're trying to achieve greatness is something that we haven't seen. So they take 2 in Boston. Now it's like you could lose game 3, but you gotta win game 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like they lost game 3, and they lost it kind of the way that I expected it. Cause like I'm expecting Boston to punch. They have to punch. Like they have to give you their best punch. If they don't, they might really choke this one out.
The most important part of the game is definitely mental. It's safe
that's
to
a
say.
fact. So they had to make that happen.
Because they didn't even change up their offensive schemes. They didn't change much when it came to strategy. They just one day they showed up, had to have it, had to win that game.
That's a fact.
They locked in.
And the thing was too, they made 23s that game in game 3. So now you thinking to yourself as a Knicks fan, like, oh, their shooting is hot now. So we gotta strap up.
Game 4 was the biggest game in that series, as it usually tends to be.
Yeah, that was the biggest test. That was the biggest game of the series. Absolutely, game 4, because like New York has to have this one, and Boston has to have this one.
It's either you put their backs against the wall,
exactly,
or you kind of even the playing field and give up home field.
And you just gave up home court. Now they got home court again.
Yep.
So they're good. Like, and they tied it up 2-2. Now it's just who's the nigga that's gonna win 2 games. That's it. Best 2 out of 3 from now. So New York had to have the game, and so did Boston. And New York goes down again, and they figure it out. So they win game 4. I'm like, that's like, we're gonna win this series. I said we're gonna win it. Now, I did not like their performance in game 5.
It was a little too.
They looked very lackadaisical for a team like. I was kind of hoping that they were chilling, and I was hoping that they would put the knife into their chest.
The dagger in Boston,
volley. But the Knicks,
which, by the way, is what everybody seems to be able to do when it comes to the Knicks in the Garden.
Exactly.
Like, everybody can always pull up and volley, but somehow.
And that's what I was kind of waiting for, because I'm like, that's the kind of shit that you need as a group that helps you become battle-tested and all that extra shit. Like, that's how you know you growing up. But again, I have to think about it like, damn, like this is their first year together. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that mentality yet. Like, but they like, you seeing them grow as we speak. Like, they're growing game to game. They lose game 5, and obviously game 6 becomes like this must-win game. You don't want to go back to Boston at all.
For sure.
And that, what they did in game 6, that's when I was like, nigga, we going to the finals. Because granted, Tatum wasn't on the court for it, but to look in Boston in the eye and we're going to kill you. You won by 38 points. Like, you killed them. Like, that's what I wanted. And they gave that to me. So I'm like, yo, I was riding on highs.
A lot of similarities with the Knicks and Mets postseasons this last year. Like, we don't have a lot of games we could say, yo, the Knicks clinched the series in the Garden.
Word. Yeah, that's a fact.
When it comes to the Mets, they hadn't clinched at City until they beat Philadelphia in 5. So it's like, that being, albeit the first round in the playoffs in the MLB, there's a wild card now. So technically that's like the semis in baseball now.
Type shit.
And obviously you got the CS and all that. But second round, same thing.
Yeah.
The Knicks close it out at home. And now, and it's crazy because I don't mean to equate the two, but going in the face of the Dodgers, you're like, yo, that's our equivalent of the Boston series. We thinking we don't have a shot. The Knicks, to me, got over the biggest beast in the East.
So
now we're going to the conference finals. and you telling me we facing a team that probably could lose in 7 to the teams that we just beat, both of them. When you're talking about Detroit and Boston, I feel like Detroit's best series could take Indiana 7, especially with the Midwestern rivalry.
Yeah, the way they do it. If they took us 6, they'll probably take Indiana 7. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm telling you, like,
Boston obviously packed them up last year.
Facts.
So we went into the conference finals really confident. But yeah.
Listen, I walked into that conference final and I was thinking, we gonna win the bro. Game 1 when Towns made the 3 and he tapped James Johnson on his chest, I'm telling you, word of mommy. I'm like, we're going to the finals.
Start looking at finals tickets.
Yeah, we're going to the finals. Bro, it just, everything was vibey, bro. Everything was vibey, bro. Everybody having fun on this floor. Everything great. The Garden blowing up. Like, yo, this city is wilding. It's
coming
rocking.
after a 38-point win at home. Like, it just seemed like we was going.
Bro, it felt like they had it figured out. It really just felt like finals, bro. Like, we're dead ass gonna play in the finals. And then, like, Indiana, bro, I'm not gonna lie, Indiana started punching back, but eventually,
the game was so good for the Knicks, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
That the comeback really snuck up on you. Like,
yeah.
Me personally, like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, he had one.
Yeah, that's how I was. I'm like, oh, bro,
the
like,
second one, the and one, I'm like, y'all fake blowing my, like, you feel me? Like,
it wasn't until Neesmith made the 3 that Josh Hart slipped on. When he made that 3, I'm like, what are y'all doing now? Like, now y'all wilding. Like, this is his 5th made 3 in a row. Like, what is going on here? Like, force him to the cup now. And I'm like,
nah, the and one when he fell forward, that was like, all right, this unfortunate, because there's momentum swinging plays. Like,
yeah, these are real punches that are happening right now to you. And then, but even then, like, I still was like, yo, we're gonna win this game. They're wild.
You know what's more daunting than getting smacked by the Knicks at the Garden? Being the Knicks about to lose a close game at the Garden.
Bro. Like,
because when you're the road team and the Knicks is grooving and everything's up, Timothy Chalamet on the sideline with Kylie and all of them, they wilding, this is what's supposed to happen.
Shit felt good,
this is what's,
bro.
No, but as a visiting player, it's what's supposed to happen. If you feel me, like, all right, it's painful. We want to win. We want to shut them up. But whatever, they're home. It's supposed to happen this way, I guess.
That's
when
how
you're a home team.
Yo, that's how.
Like, not even a fucking home team. When you the Knicks in the Garden, and y'all about to really, like, fumble the pill, it's like, yo, that pain, that pressure is almost insurmountable.
It was like. And again,
you can hear a pen drop in the
so many things, like, you just tell yourself that so many things have to go wrong for you to lose this game. And you're just like, they're not the same Knicks teams that we used to watch before. And but it dead ass happened. Like, Tyrese has the ball in his hand. And I'm in my head like, look, if the kid wants to go to the cup, let him go to the cup. I'm thinking, because
it happened so fast, bro.
Because game, like,
1 second he's going to the cup, and I'm like, wait, did he get fouled? Did he, like, because the way he drove to the cup, it's almost as if he was unaware of how much time he had left on the clock, which fooled me into thinking, nigga, you don't got that much time. So when he brought the ball back out to the 3-point line, I'm like, how much time did you really have? Enough time to run back,
bro,
set, chuck up some bullshit?
I was like, he gets into the cup, like, he's driving, and I'm like, fuck it. When he pulled back out, I'm like, no. And he got the shot off, and I'm like, he made it. I'm like, no.
Hold on, because that split second, bro, it's almost like dying and going to heaven for like 5 seconds, and then God sends you back.
Facts.
When the rock hit the rim, bro, went off the fucking camera screen, like, you couldn't even see that bitch.
Couldn't see it out. Yeah, you couldn't even see that bitch.
I kid you not, bro. For that split second and a half, New York was about to be Gotham City, bro.
Yes.
You could sense everyone be like, he missed, though.
Fact, like, bro,
like,
the vibe is just different, bro. Like,
he was like, nah, he dead made it, though. Nah, where's the nearest roof? I'm about to jump off.
Bro, dead ass. And it's like, you get into, that shit happen, and I'm like, fuck it, we're going to have to play an OT. Like, we're going to have to play an OT, my nigga, that's it.
Nah, at that point, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but you knew.
Yes.
Momentum obviously was going the other way.
Like, shit had to go the Knicks way. Like, a lot of shit had to go the Knicks way. But again, I'm just like...
They started off pretty all right.
Yeah, they did.
The first few buckets.
They did. And it's like, bro, now you just need them to be mentally sharp, bro. And again, that's a lot to ask sometimes. It's like, yo, because bro, you just blew
When
this
you're the
lead.
home team about to fumble in the
You
garden.
blew a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left.
9-point lead with 52 seconds left.
Not exact. You're mentally exhausted right now, and they try to figure it out. When they lost game 1, it was disappointing. But I'm gonna tell people this. Go ahead.
Think about the mental aspect as an athlete. When you go through a moment of like, there's a certain yes and then there's a no. Like when you say, "Yo, we're done," he hit a 3. It's game. That split second of people telling you, "Nah, bro, his foe's on the line."
You going out for overtime.
Yeah, but you were ready for a split second, accept the
yeah.
defeat, and that's all it takes.
And that's all it take, bro. That's all it take, bro.
That shit is crazy.
And that was tough to vibe with. They lose game 1, and that was a tough pill to swallow. It was a tough pill to swallow.
So we had to have game 2.
And game 2 becomes a must-win game. But I'm not gonna lie, Danny. Game 1 was so important because what people don't understand, y'all could talk to me about net rating, plus minus, choking the game. You could talk about all of that. The Pacers caught the advantage after game 1 because not only did they win game 1, but they were the team that had the adjustment advantage going into game 2 because their comeback was a rarity. It doesn't happen.
Not only that, it was a result of turning a stone and making sure that you leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, like Indiana, literally, they won a game they were not supposed to win. New York lost a game that they were supposed to win. Going into game 2, Indiana has the adjustment advantage. The Knicks don't, even though they just lost. How they don't have the advantage? How they can't go back to tape and see what they did wrong going into game 2. They lost because what are you gonna see in the game film besides your effort level? You were up 14 in this game. You were cooking them. Indiana,
it doesn't leave you much room to change your strategy.
Exactly.
Strategy
you don't
led
really
you
trade.
to.
You don't trade. You don't do
when
anything.
you know for a fact your effort was your demise, there's nothing to look at.
Nothing to look at. Indiana goes back to the drawing board, though, because now they get to tell themselves, how do we make sure we're not down 14 in game 2? And I already have game 1.
So you have 85% of a game to look at and correct, and you still won the one that you fucked up in 85% of the time.
You fucked up 85% of the time, 90% of the time, and you still won that game and get to go back to the drawing board and tell yourself, all right, what do I do to fix that? And that's how they win game 2. Because now mentally in the Knicks heads, it's like, bro, we had a game.
They thinking game 1 part 2.
Exactly.
Nah.
Nope. So now you're down 2-0. Now game 3, you have to have it. And you do get it. In my head, going into game 3, I told myself, if the Knicks can give me a 15-point victory, you're back in this series. You're back in the driver's seat of this series, even down 2-1. Y'all won by 6. It was a very competitive game. Y'all won. That told me that Indiana means business.
No, that was also a 20-point comeback.
True.
Because
Real
halfway through that game, you thinking there's no fucking way Karl-Anthony Towns is this ass.
Yes.
There's no way you're
And
that
then
bunch,
out
bro.
of nowhere, like a snap of a finger, he figured it out, and he was the best nigga on the court.
Bro,
I'm going to tell you this right now.
That step back 3 where he fell, I said, nah, he's in Dykeman. He's in Dykeman right now. In his mind, he's back in the park.
When he caught the and one, bro, I'm like, bro, this is...
The dunk going on Nembhard or whoever the fuck?
Oh, my God. And I thought they were going to call an offensive foul, Danny. That's how nicking I was.
That's how much you would New York Knicks right now.
Like, because you always wait for the other shoe to drop. He caught that dunk on Nembhard. I'm like, don't call an offensive foul on me right now. Bro, in the previous series, they called that offensive foul on OG when he caught a body.
Yeah, he tweaked on that.
He caught a body. They called the offensive foul. So I'm like, you thinking the worst, but they gave him the and one, and I'm like, yo, bro, we got something here, bro. And he was wilding. Shout out to Cap, bro. He was wilding. They pulled out game 3. But what I learned after game 3 was Indiana's tough. Like, they're tough, bro. They're gonna do what they gotta do.
Nah, because then they go back in the back, bro. When you're playing behind the 8 ball strategically, you're always gonna be up against an uphill battle. Like,
it's an uphill battle
because
we trying to figure out game 2. Your opponent.
We trying to figure out game 2 for game 3. They're already 2 laps ahead.
Exactly, they're a step ahead. Because you lost.
And there's certain things that
Tibbs
is not changing.
Now, you lose game 2, you go into game 3, they make the lineup change. Like, they bring in Mitchell Robinson. Preferably me, I would have brought in Deuce McBride. Because I would have brought in Deuce McBride they had good number, like they had good metrics when Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns on the floor. They
He started
did.
that game, his first start, with 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter.
Nah, he was wilding. He was
Sweet.
wilding. But the thing was, like, New York, listen, the bench, I don't care what anybody says. Like, y'all clamor for bench. We don't have a bench. Like, we don't, bro.
Do you blame for the GM how that was constructed?
No, because you have to you got to pay the price to get these good players. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get Karl Anthony Towns off end of the bench guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give to get. And, you already think, like, bro, when we got Towns, like, you have to tell yourself, like, Leon Rose's next job is to find this player that still has a lot of life in him that's going to play for the cheap. They thought they did it with Cameron Payne. Not going to lie. They thought they did. Veteran minimum.
They did something.
Veteran minimum. He's been in playoff games. That's what that really was for. Like, this is a dude that when we in playoff games, like, he might give me a spark or some
The
shit.
closest in the Lou we have.
Feel me?
Available. Someone who just get in the game
that's
without
essentially
any
what
prep
they tried to
stay
do.
ready.
That's what they tried to do. And Cameron Payne eventually just became unplayable. You
Try to
couldn't
do
play
it with
him.
Shaman too.
Feel me? I'm gonna get to that nigga later.
Hold on, because now we done lost game 4 by 9.
We lose game 4, and that's a game that I felt like they had to have it for their psyche. They couldn't pull it out.
Now we feel like Boston.
Now we kind of like with our backs against the wall. You have to win. You cannot let Indiana clinch on your floor. You can't. And no funny shit. They
After
spank
that
them.
win,
Like, they spank them, and I'm like, you needed this. This is what you fucking
point
needed.
dub, which could have been even more.
Yes.
Which was crazy.
They let their foot off the gas after a while. I'm like, bro, and as they should have. You go back to Indiana, I'm like, all right, y'all just have to win the ugly game, win the close game. Bet. And I'm going to be real with you. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, they did not show up.
in game 6.
In game 6. They did not. I was waiting for them all 48 minutes. They never showed up. Mikal Bridges, I can't get mad at Mikal Bridges. I can't give him too much responsibility this year. I can't. It's just not working. He don't want to go to the cup. It's not working. Josh Hart was pissing me off all series because it seemed like every time he did something good, he immediately did something stupid. So it was even hard for me to get hype for him. He'll get an and one and then follow it up with a turnover. Like, come on, bro. It's hard, bro. Like, you get into the paint, and instead of trying to go up, you're trying to look for a bailout, and now you're turning the ball over. I can't have this.
It was a game to me that required the kind of unity in a certain tight-knit group that the Knicks just didn't.
They didn't have it at the end of the day. They didn't have it at the end of the day.
Funk.
You feel me? And now, like,
Them
everybody.
guys just got here. They just started playing.
Like Landry Shamet. Shout out to Landry Shamet because he gave a fuck. Like, he was coming in and he was knocking in the shots I needed. When I needed a shot, he gave it to me. The defense.
To stop the bleeding threes, he was definitely on
Oh
that.
my God. Like, bro, he would just every time he made a 3, I'm like, I needed that. Every time. And he locking up.
And every time he missed, I was like,
Shit, he gonna get the next one though. Like, feel me? And and he's locking up. I'm like, bro, he deserved to be on this team next year. I better see him on this bench next year. He earned it. Shamet, that bro. That's he earned his spot next year. I don't care. People gain on, like, DeLon Wright. Listen, DeLon Wright's on the court for defense. He's not there to score.
He's not there to score, but I will say as an NBA point guard, those 2 turnovers kind of inadmissible.
Listen, that's a fact. But what am I really asking from this nigga? This is a journeyman point guard. He never got minutes anywhere.
He got minutes in Dallas.
Define minutes.
Not meaningful minutes.
All right, not meaningful. So it's, bro, I'm asking a lot from this guy. He was locking up. He stopped T.J. McConnell. Oh, my God. And I'm like, thank God, because T.J. McConnell annoying.
Yo,
he had that on Smash.
That's one thing, bro.
He had him on Smash, though. So
those guys, the Payne Pritchards, the T.J. McConnells, you can't let those guys go crazy.
So I'm going to tell you this right now. We have Deuce McBride, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet.
Dudes just want to come in and pull the trigger.
Now, let's talk about Deuce McBride. And I feel like Knicks fans who say that Tibbs should have used the bench more. Let me tell you why that's not a real thing. Like, you can't really use it as an excuse. Why? Deuce McBride is a solid player. Solid player.
Starting on a few teams.
He's
starting on a few NBA teams.
He is starting on a few NBA teams, and he is on every single. He gets cut tomorrow. 29 teams are going after him. That's a fact. The kid is a spot-up shooter. He can't create much for himself. You can't really run him in pick and roll.
Gutsy, though.
Gutsy.
Like
plays
when he trying to
hard.
drive and dunk on you,
He plays hard.
I'll be like, oh, he's
But at
wild.
the end of the day, it's about your talent level.
Right.
The Knicks need what Jalen Brunson what did he need badly? A guy that could bring the ball up besides him. Mikal Bridges can do it, but he can't get you into any actions. He's gonna get you. He's gonna do the little pick and roll with Mitchell Robinson. You know he's not passing it to Mitchell Robinson.
Nah, he threw a few oops.
One.
It-
One. That's the first alley-oop I see him throw all season too.
It's funny because the other one he threw, it was already down 20. So I was like, oh, okay.
Fuck that. So it's like he's not running you into no actions besides that little pick and roll with Mitchell Robinson, whatever. You know he's not going to the basket. He is not going to the basket. He's taking the mid. He's taking the mid range. It don't matter how egregious it is. He's taking it. So
it's mostly cash.
You need a guy that's gonna be able to get you into your stuff.
To your flow.
Listen, when Tyler Kolek when he started those couple games or came off the bench, whatever, I forgot what he did. He had an opportunity.
In the regular season?
Yeah, during the regular season,
Right.
Payne and Deuce were hurt,
Right.
so he was getting a bulk of the minutes.
Yeah.
So you're looking for him. Like what you needed to get out of those 3 games was, can he run an offense? He can pass to the open man, but passing to the open man and running an offense is 2 different things. He cannot run your offense. He can hit the open man, but he needs to be able to orchestrate. He can't orchestrate yet. What the Knicks needed was an orchestrator. Somebody that was going to organize you guys, like, get your ass over here, get your ass over there. We're going to go over here, we're going to go over there.
Under pressure.
Under pressure, exactly. Because
That's
a lot of y'all motherfuckers could do it in the regular season, but that's neither here or there.
When the going gets tough.
When the going gets tough, can you do the same shit? So that's what they at the end of the day, Indiana had Halliburton and McConnell. They know what to do with the pill in their hand. They know. That's it. They know what they're running at all times. They know. So that's what the Knicks were lacking. So now
the ability to take Halliburton off ball as the Pacers, as Rick called out, it's like it's.
And I want people to know, like,
crazy.
It's not like Indiana's group was phenomenal in this series. McConnell was a negative in the series. Mathurin was a negative in the series. Turner was a negative in the series. Like people were negative in the series. Feel me? Like a lot of their core players weren't good. And when Halliburton came off the floor, they were terrible. So
how are you going to say it's like that?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we're so sad that the Knicks lost, because a lot of shit within that series went their way. They just couldn't figure it out. Like
when it mattered most.
When it mattered most, like Karl Anthony Towns, like we know they couldn't guard you, but for some, like in
Not
game
gonna
6,
lie, going in the second half of Game 6, up or down 2 or something like that, I was like, all right, you gotta roll your sleeves up and get ready for their heaviest attack, their craziest punch in third quarter, and they were not ready.
And think about it. They're going into the third quarter. Towns doesn't have it. Brunson doesn't have
Somehow, and that's what I'm
They
saying.
don't have
Somehow
it.
we're still in this.
it. Turner's in foul trouble.
their
Neesmith is
whole
in foul
team is in
trouble.
foul
Their
trouble.
whole team is in foul trouble, and these 2 guys haven't gotten going yet. So you're telling yourself, bro, only one of them have to heat up, and neither of them did. So when they lost, I wasn't even like
Not only
heartbroken.
did they not heat up, the stupid turnovers.
Yes, but at the end of the day, my defense can only hold me for so long, because the defense played great for 3.5 quarters. They played great. Not 3.5 quarters, 2.5 quarters.
All right.
They played great.
About a fourth, it was over.
That's it. Once they went on their run in the third quarter, you saw their body language. They got punched in the fucking mouth and they didn't know what to do with it. Towns wasn't.
It's like everything we tried didn't work.
Towns wasn't aggressive. Brunson's decision making in Game 6 was putrid. It was terrible, bad. It was like I never seen him make those level of decisions in games.
Do you accredit Indiana's guards defense to that? Do you blame Jalen Brunson?
Knicks have the worst whistle in the league, because SGA getting phantom fouls. Shout out to SGA though. He getting phantom fouls over there in that Minnesota series. But Jalen Brunson getting hit and there's no calls coming. But fuck it. It comes with playing in New York. Feel me? So Brunson did what he could. I'm not mad at Cap, bro. I'm not mad at my captain, bro. Like, I get it. I really wanted you to pull through, but it was too much. It became too much. And Towns he didn't have it. I don't know how he didn't have it, but he ain't have it. So
in a game where you had to
you had to have it, and Towns on defense was just bad in Game 6. Like he was bad. The blowing the defensive coverages, the leaving the shooters open. It was very tough. It was very tough to watch that. And they eventually get packed up. And you know, at the end of the day, that shit happens. I was sad. Like, of course, I was sad, but ultimately, listen, they achieved what a lot of people felt like they couldn't achieve. There was people definitely that thought they weren't going to go to the conference final. There was people that would have been like, nah, they gonna go to the second round, whatever. There was people that thought we were never gonna beat the Celtics. You got to look at shit like they're still growing. Like they're still growing. I'm like, oh, bro. And at the end of the day, like I said, in this league, you don't skip the line. How many years were Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together before they actually got it? How many years was Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson together before they got theirs? Feel me? Like, you got to pay a price. Denver. OKC right now. OKC was the 1 seed last year. They got bounced early. They was just paying their dues. Indiana even paid their dues after a while. For me, like, you got teams that are paying their dues. You're not going to skip the line. And that's honestly, like, we were playing with house money at the end of the day, because if we do go to the finals, we're skipping the line, bro. Like, we ain't pay our dues for real. Like,
the real discontent with me is that just this time last year, all I was thinking was, yo, if we were healthy, bro, we would have packed Indiana, bro. Dante DiVincenzo's 39 in Game 7 to this day. Still, bro. It still tugs at the heartstrings, bro. We did get clipped because everybody was down. So you thinking going into this series, not only is everybody down, like I said, we've gotten through arguably the toughest challenge in the East, maybe the entire playoffs. Most people had Boston going to the finals. Fuck the
facts. I thought they were going to repeat. I'm not going to lie.
So when you don't take advantage of what you feel like could be your last chance with that window closing.
Now,
these teams are paying their dues.
And granted, I don't think that the Knicks window closed. Absolutely. I think it's just a start. But, it really did feel like, yo, bro, we playing with house money, bro. Like, we might fuck around and dead ass win a chip. Like, that's how it felt. Like, yo, we felt like we was playing the lottery, and the ball coming down was the number we needed. And that's how I felt.
Interestingly enough, if you flip the conference finals and the semifinals, we beat Indiana in round 2 and we lose to Boston in the conference finals. It's a much different tune.
Much different tune. And it's like that, bro. It's the opponent. It's the matchup that you get. It's the matchup that you draw. And you saw Indiana. You really felt confident going against Indiana this year because you're healthy and all that stuff. And but losing Game 1 was tough. I think that really fucked up their psyche, and they tried to get that back, and they just couldn't. Like, at the end of the day,
I don't think they were, like you said, there yet as a group.
Nah, they're not there yet as a group,
in order to
bro.
Really
like, at the end of the
day, make it happen,
bro. Karl Anthony Towns was traded for 2 days before training camp. 2 days before training camp. Like, you're gonna have to do some like getting accustomed to each other during the season. You're not gonna have a training camp to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna just do it in a training camp and now y'all all cool and shit. Like, y'all know the vibes. But
it's different. If you could give the Knicks a grade over the season, letter grade, take them to school, B. What grade would you give them?
A-.
A-?
A-.
It's a great grade.
A-.
I'm guessing A+ would have been a championship.
No funny shit. A- would have been.
A+ would have been a finals appearance.
No. A+ would have been a competitive finals. No cap. I ain't even gonna bullshit with you. Shit would have been a finals appearance, and they fucking lost in 7. Would have gave them that. Fuck it. But I'm gonna give them an A- though, because at the end of the day, like, they had a great regular season. Whether if you want to give them that or not, like, if y'all want to like give them credit for it or not, that's up to you. Mm-hmm. They had a really good regular season. Beat Detroit in the first round. They beat the defending champions. A lot, like, they were really showing grit, unity, like what this city wants their basketball team to be about. They were dead ass showing it game to game. Like, they had a great season, bro. Like, at the end, they haven't been to the conference finals in 25 years, bro. Like, you got to give them credit. Like, you have to give them credit. Whether if you like, I know it sucks that they didn't get to the finals, but you still got to give them their love.
It was an amazing season.
It was a really good season, bro. There was a lot of memories behind that. There's a lot of memories in this season. There's a lot of fire that you can unpack in this season.
And honestly, we're gonna like get more into this as we talk about the later segments, but time flies when you're rooting for a team like this good. You know what I'm saying? When you in the playoffs 3 straight years, You got playoff memories. You got regular season wins as memories. You got all-stars that you could say play for your favorite team.
We had 2 All-Star game starters, two players made All NBA teams. Feel me? Like a lot of shit. Bro, it was a really good year, bro.
Mitchell came back and gave us a lot of minutes.
And Mitchell was a dog in that Pacers series. We lost it, but for game 6,
if
he
we
was wilding.
If we would have won that game 6, he would have got the game ball.
Yeah, he had to get the game, but bro had like 7 offensive rebounds in like 5 minutes. Like he was wilding, bro. Like, but overall I'm gonna give him an A-. People might disagree with me, but I'm gonna give him an A-. This was a really solid year. It was a really solid year. Yes, I wish they could have just skipped the line, bro. Yes, get to the finals, maybe even fuck around and win one. But it didn't happen, bro. It didn't happen, and it is what it is.
And just off that alone, we should probably get into what it might need to take to get the Knicks to the next level. Next season. What moves do you think? Give me 3 moves you think the Knicks gotta make in this offseason to really. Nothing's guaranteed, nothing's sure, but
Facts.
I mean, do the best you can to ensure yourself a shot.
I was fake looking at some shit too. And honestly, bro, I'm not gonna assume trades. So I'm not gonna sit here and say trade for this person. I'm not assuming trades. I'm not assuming trades.
All right.
So all I did was look at the free agent list and say, yo, the Knicks could use these 3 guys. Number 1. Let's bring in Steven Adams. Can we get Steven Adams to come here for the cheap? Steven Adams, great rebounder, playoff experience. Mitchell Robinson is either first or second in offensive rebounds every year. It seems like Steven Adams is either first or second.
You get the top 2.
Now you have the best 2 offensive rebounders in the sport on the same team.
Can you play them together?
You cannot play them together. No, Steven Adams would be more so for depth, but that's the kind of depth you need. Because at the end of the day, what also fucked up New York in that Pacers series was you starting Towns and Mitchell Robinson. You don't have a center off the bench anymore. I mean, you don't have a center. Both of your centers are starting. If you have a guy off the bench like a Steven Adams, you can get a little freaky. You can move a little sneaky if you want.
With the rotations.
Yes, and Steven Adams offensively, he's not going to give you much, but what he will give you that Mitchell Robinson doesn't is that when you give him the ball, he can maneuver it somewhere. He knows what to do. He can go and get a layup comfortably. If you give him the ball,
Diamond on Silver,
for sure. Yeah, and he can pass the ball. For me, he can pass the ball. So Mitchell Robinson's not adept at those things. Steven Adams is. To me, he's a great depth piece. So he would be a guy that if the Knicks can go out and get.
Is he a top target this free agent class?
No. He's one of my targets.
One of the 3. So who's number
one of the 3? Number 2, this is probably least likely, but it would be cool to have if he's willing to play for the fucking minimum, and that's Nick Batum. Why
the fuck Batum in?
Fourth quarter screaming, why the fuck Batum in? But listen, 6'9", shoots,
veteran,
That
Bucks
defends. Us Knicks fans know Batum
from
the playoff.
5 for 5 from 3 too.
Knicks fans know Batum from facing Philadelphia. Him and Oubre were the 2 guys guarding Jalen Brunson at all times, and Batum was not bad. Feel me? So Batum, he could defend. He has a size. He shoots the lights out of the ball. Can't go wrong with that. And he's a vet. He's been here. Like, feel me?
He was talking about in the Olympics documentary that this was definitely his last go around in the Olympics. So, assuming that means he's thinking he'll retire before the next one.
Probably.
This might be his
feel me? Like, this might be his last go around. And so Batum, I'm down for it. The Knicks' primary target for me, they
would have called Big Shot to be in sit and say what's up. Who we going after?
Chris Paul.
CP.
Reason why the Knicks need an orchestrator. They need somebody who's going to be able to look at the other 4 guys on the floor and say, you need to be here, you need to be there, you need to be there, and you need to be here. They need a guy that's going to come down and say, he's the high hand, give him the ball. He's the high hand, give him the ball. Let's run this action because he's going to get open.
Mitchell Robinson, here's another alley-oop.
We need a guy that knows how to make decisions. The best dude on the market is Chris Paul.
You
Go and get Chris Paul.
think the Knicks give Chris Paul his first ring?
Now, this is where relationships and stuff like that are going to play factors. Leon Rose used to be his agent. Chris Paul, he is 40. This is soon be his last go around. Like, he don't got much life left in his league. He's
I assume he don't want to. Rumors are he don't want to stay in San Antonio.
He probably don't.
Rumors are,
But
but if that is true, that means he's probably trying to play for a winner and a contender.
Yes,
in the New York Knicks.
If I'm not going back to San Antonio to play with fucking Wemby, obviously I'm trying to get a ring.
And
New York, in New York, they have a need. Now, granted, listen, the Knicks are full of undersized guards. He's an undersized guard, but he's a fucking pit. Feel me? Like, niggas think he a dirty player. He's a pit.
Can you trust his health in the postseason?
That's a big question, but it's a risk that I'm willing to take with him. Malcolm Brogdon, a free agent, I'm not touching him because he can't stay healthy. I'm a trust Chris Paul. I might not even have to play him every game. He could get his rest days, blah, 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 blah. As long as you're ready for these playoffs.
Bro like he's 40-something.
Feel me? He's great in the mid-range. You know how mid-ranges are in the postseason. People love to shoot him in the postseason. He's great in the mid-range. He's a great decision-maker. An elite decision. He averaged 8 assists
He's an OJB, essentially.
Feel me? He's a pit, so you know he's just not going to get fucking rolled over on defense. He's not going to guard like he used to, but he's like, you're not going to bitch him around. JB is the same way. JB can't guard for real, but you're not going to bitch him around. That's energy, vibes. Chris Paul's going to come in hungry. He 40, don't got no ring. He hungry. He coming in hungry.
Let's go get one for CP.
Let's go get one for. Let's go
get one for CP, y'all.
Let's go get CP. Have him come off this bench.
It's crazy
working.
That seems like the perfect player to sign if you are gonna fire a head coach such as Tom Thibodeau. Which unfortunately, we woke up a couple days after taking the conference finals and Tom Thibodeau, third winningest coach in New York Knicks history. Soon would have been second with just a handful more wins in this season had he been given a chance to do so. Unfortunately, he has been relieved of his duties. And now, reactions, was this the right move? This type of convos we're forced to have now as Knicks fans.
I'm sad. At the end of the day, I was shocked. Bro.
The Pacers have literally...
He couldn't have gotten one more year?
The Pacers have gotten 3 head coaches fired this one season alone.
This is the shit that I hate. Because it's like, yo, they going to walk back and say, yo, we did that.
They beat the Nuggets. 2 days later, they fired Mike Malone.
Come on, son.
They beat the Knicks. 2 days later, they fired Tom Thibodeau. They beat the Bucks 2 days later.
They fired Budenholzer, right? It was Budenholzer? Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, Budenholzer. Like, bro, like, I can't, bro, no, bro. Like, I hate when I hear shit like that. Because, like, now this nigga Tyrese Halliburton walking around like he that nigga. I'm tired. Bro, I'm tired. I hate that shit.
What's so
bro.
crazy is that, like, in a humanistic
I'm tired of this nigga, bro. Like,
from a humanistic perspective, if this is one of the homies and you're like, yo, you just got voted most overrated in the league, are you in the finals? I'm happy for you, bro. You going crazy, nigga. Fuck him up. Go crazy. If that's your man's, but just because now he's
bro, I'm gonna get to Tyrese. Listen, I'm gonna get to Tyrese Halliburton. I'm gonna get to Tyrese Halliburton after we talk about Tibbs.
You know how many people wore all black before get closeout game and did not close the game out?
It never fucking worked. This nigga wore with fucking shorts. Nigga, I'm tight, bro. This shit get me tight. And I'm gonna get to Tyrese Halliburton after. With Tibbs, I personally felt like he could have got one more year. Because at the end, like, listen, if you fire him, they saying that shit for articles. They saying that shit for articles.
Crazy.
That nigga would have never looked anybody in the eye and said, I don't want to coach this team anymore. Nigga, what Tibbs was going through just to get here, that nigga been wanting to coach the Knicks since Melo was on the team. You think he was ever gonna just openly quit on his own? Nah, hell no.
5 years was enough?
Hell no.
One of them being a bubble year?
Bro, I personally was shocked. I was hurt. That's my fucking coach.
You know how long the Knicks have been searching for a culture-setting, winning head coach? You know how many? You know what carousel there was in New York, bro, and head coaches.
I want motherfuckers to know too. You know how many really good seasons Knicks players had under Tom Thibodeau, bro? Like Like, y'all motherfuckers talk about he don't develop talent, he don't do this, he don't do that. But these niggas was walking around getting paid under his fucking watch, nigga. Like, RJ paid. Toronto traded for quickly and got paid.
You know RJ's stat line this year is literally a mirror of Jalen Williams.
He wilding. Nah, he was wilding. He's wilding in Toronto. But that's expected. Like, bro, listen, Tibbs, a lot of niggas got better under Tibbs. Whether if you want to give him credit or not, Julius Randle had the best years of his fucking life. Obi was mid. Fuck that nigga. He was mid. RJ,
Too soon.
RJ was killing on the Knicks. He was killing. He wasn't the greatest player in the world, but he definitely was better than when he was definitely better.
More sound.
Quickly, he didn't get paid by New York, but what he did in New York got him paid in Toronto. That's all under Tibbs. Y'all motherfuckers is talking about Tibbs this and Tibbs that, and niggas getting paid under Tibbs. Hartenstein getting $30 million from OKC. That's under Tom Thibodeau. Yearly, like, come on. Like, niggas is getting paid. Mitchell Robinson went from really good backup center to defensive player of the year candidate under Tibbs. So we gonna show, listen, I'm gonna show love to my coach. That's my fucking coach, bro.
Also, OG was not playing like that in Toronto.
Like, OG, bro. OG and Anobi, bro. I love that man, bro.
That's my brother.
Listen, that's my man. That Crime Stopper. Where's Day at? Crime Stopper. That is Crime Stopper. That's the best defender I've ever seen in my life.
But before we deviate too far, obviously we don't think this was the right move.
It wasn't, bro. Give him one more year, bro. Because at the end of the day, what is the?
And secondly, what's out there?
So I look, the Knicks.
Do you trade coaches with the Nuggets essentially? You pick up
No, because if the Knicks do that, like if the Knicks pick up Mike Malone, I'm gonna be so mad. Because he's Tibbs. He and Tibbs are the same dude. They rely heavy on their starters. They don't play young players.
Does Mike also run a 90s-style offense?
Bro, the only difference between Malone and Tibbs is that Malone coached Jokic. Like, Jokic, he coached Jokic. And Tibbs had Jalen Brunson. No funny shit. You swapped them. Tibbs probably, nothing gonna change. Tibbs might sit on the ring. But it's the circumstances. Like, I'm not firing Tibbs to go and get Mike Malone. I'm not doing it.
Right.
The Knicks now, this is the conundrum you face when you fire Tom Thibodeau like this. Because now you have to hit the home run higher. You have to.
In time,
and yes. And I want to, listen, I know there's people saying it, talking about, like, they're going to do their due diligence and their due process. This is not going to be long. You do not fire Tom Thibodeau and not know who you want to coach next.
They call him Bud? Who they calling? Because last time we was in this predicament, bro, we had just fired Mike Woodson.
Nigga.
We had just fired Mike Woodson after a 50-win season. And who do we go and pick up as a head coach?
It was Hornacek, right? I think it was Hornacek after. I don't remember.
You're right. It might have been Jeff. But when they signed Derek Fisher to be head coach under Phil Jackson's tenure.
This was bad. Listen, Phil, I don't want to hear nothing about no Phil Jackson. That nigga terrible. Like, Phil Jackson is terrible. But speaking of Phil Jackson, the conundrum you in right now.
Another Derek Fisher.
The conundrum that you in right now. The conundrum you in right now.
Steven Jackson.
Is you're now looking for Phil Jackson. When the Chicago Bulls had Michael Jordan and they fired Doug Collins, they went and got Phil Jackson. They won chips. You're looking for Steve Kerr. You fired Mark Jackson.
All I hope is that you do the fire.
You fire Mark Jackson. You bring in Steve Kerr. You win the chips. That's where you're at now. That's what you have to do now.
But you're at a teetering point because this is a house of cards and one wrong move.
Exactly.
And it all falls
Tibbs,
down.
You could have gave Tibbs one more year because unless you believe that the answer to your problems was on your bench, which it was not, that means you have to go outside to get what you need.
Well,
so why not let him oversee what it is that you need?
One could also surmise that Leon Rose got the call like, yo, the way you constructed this roster, obviously you thought we didn't need much of a bench. We're going to need a bench, bro, and a coach who's willing to utilize that.
I'm not going to lie. Listen, I'm not going to lie.
So that could also have happened.
Now, you're going to have to, but you see how you say, yo, you're going to have to get a bench and then get a coach who will utilize it. If you had people on your bench, I'm pretty sure the nigga would use them. It's just that
I'm sure.
you can't,
but
like,
that's
you're not
also
gonna sell
group.
me.
That's a collective decision.
Like you true. You're not gonna sell me. Oh, Tibbs should have played the bench more, and the guy on the bench is DeLon Wright.
They didn't make that roster, bro.
You feel me? Like you can't. Like you're not gonna
You
tell
got
me.
Towns
Yo, he
by
gotta
giving
play
up two
the.
people.
Yo, he gotta play the bench more. He gotta play the bench more. And the guy on the bench is Tyler Kolek. He was a second-round draft pick, bro. Y'all making it seem like it was Emmanuel Quickly.
You get OJ, you give up 2 key rotational pieces. To get Towns, you give up 2 key rotational pieces. This is a pattern. To get Mikal, you give up a rotational piece, if I'm not mistaken, or just
Bogdanovich was, and he wasn't gonna have no
he was
role.
a write-off.
He wasn't.
He was
not
a
gonna
tax
have any
write-off.
role, so he didn't really mean much. And
But
then
those,
there was just
those
the
5
really.
picks, all I'm saying is to get these players, like you said, they cost, and not only do they come at a price, they come at a price that's gonna leave you
Looking
to cover
for
these gaps.
Yeah. Now you got to cover the gaps. Exactly. Now you try to get it done with Deuce, and like I said, Deuce is a wonderful kid, bro. Like he's nice. I fuck with him. It's just that he's not talented enough in certain areas, and the Knicks need that in those areas.
He's definitely not as much of a facilitator as they need.
Bro, he's a small shooting guard. That's basically what he is. He's a small spot up shooting guard. At the end of the day, there's not much that I could do with that unless I have the proper
with his
pieces.
jump shot.
Unless I have the proper pieces around him for him to truthfully succeed and not hurt me. That's what
that's what I think the series came down to, is that a whole bunch of players trying to just be themselves, but not knowing that that's not what we needed at the moment.
Exactly. Because again,
he came in the game, Chuck, and it's like all he knows is snipe.
That's what he knows.
But that's not.
But if
what we
he's
needed
not
at the
making
moment.
those, if he's not making
those
his
confidence
threes,
building shots.
if he's not making those threes, then how is he really impacting the game for us? If he's, feel me? Like those are the questions
And
that
then you
people have
digging
to
on
ask
defense,
themselves.
but it's just not enough.
Exactly. Because look it. Y'all gonna find me all those defensive metrics with Towns on the floor with 4 defenders, Jalen Brunson with 4 defenders, and all that shit is great. But if I'm keeping you at 95 points and I can't score 96, then what we doing?
Clearly
I gotta
we know
be
what
able
the
to
issue
score
is.
96. And it's like, bro, I'm running around with Towns, Hart, DeLon Wright, Shamet, and Deuce McBride. You tell me how he's scoring
without a cat ISO.
without a cat ISO.
And then if he does something stupid like drive baseline
And it's
try
quiet.
to turn right, doesn't know why he gets stripped, they packed. Then his
Because
mind
you know
is
they
out of it.
sagging off Hart. He's not a strong 3-point shooter.
Or he don't believe in it enough.
And he don't believe it
That's
in
what
enough.
JB says.
You feel me? He don't believe it in enough. Like Shamet is the dude that's running around the court and everything, but you're gonna let him take those shots. If he wants to be the hero, we're gonna let him be the hero. Feel me? Deuce McBride, if you take away his shot, he's not gonna hurt
There's
you
one
anywhere
guy
else.
on this court we worried about right now. And that's a defense saying that's cat.
Yeah, that's only, and if I'm gonna just
You'll
build the
live
wall,
with the McCallum You'll live with
exactly.
the sporadic shit.
You live with those. So that's perfect. Like at the end of the day,
So who do they hire? At the end of the
no
day, who do
lie,
they hire?
I don't know.
Do they hire Pops? Like, who do they hire?
Pops is crazy. They saying Rick Brunson about to be the next head coach.
I'm saying.
So look.
At this
Obviously, I think that the one candidate that stands out off rip is Johnny Bryant. That's because he was on the bench for 4 years. He was under Tibbs for 4 years. He knows the Knicks. And a lot of people felt like he was going to be the guy to replace Tibbs when the Tibbs eventually got fired. But he went to Cleveland, la, 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 la. Personally, I think he's the one that's going to get the job. I think. Because it just makes a lot of sense.
From what perspective?
Like...
Yeah, he was with him for a while, but
he was here for a
you
while.
don't want
and
the same thing, though.
But he's been on different benches. He was there in Utah. He was the associate head coach for the Knicks. He was the associate head coach for the Cavaliers.
So he's not gonna pull up.
He's not a regular. He's not a regular assistant. He's not some dude that's sitting on the end of the bench. Like he's the right hand man of the coach, and you got to believe that he's just taking what it is that he likes and discarding what he don't like. So I don't think it's gonna be Tibbs 2.0. It's just going to be a young kid who's been on a couple benches. He's seen some things. Feel me? Again, this is and in his time in Utah as an assistant, he was locked in with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell puts a lot of his success on him. Like, yo, Johnny Bryant, me locked in. So you know he's good with tops. You know he's good with
top
really,
players.
With top players.
He could work well with talent.
I think he's going to be the one that ends up with this job. Now, realistically, I'm going to be honest. The home run hire is a hire that's not going to happen. And that's Ime Udoka. But I don't see why he would leave Houston.
His contract is up.
Nah, it's not up. Like he would have to ask Houston to trade him.
We on some Doc Rivers shit.
Yeah, he'll have to ask Houston to trade him. I just don't see why he would do it. I don't. Even though the Knicks job is a fire job to have, especially with what's going on right now. Like the team that you have, the players that you have, like it's an exciting job. But you're gonna come in.
They've done a lot in Houston though.
He got a good thing going in Houston. Like him leaving Houston has to be, you know what? I'm dead ass gonna take the Knicks to a finals. Like we're gonna win the finals. Like me coaching the Knicks, we're going to win this.
You don't leave a team that's bound for semis and conference finals the next
and
few years.
that you're building literally brick by brick. You're building this. Like you have your fingerprints on this entire team. Like that's Udoka. Udoka's the reason why Houston is balling right now. Really is. So do you leave that to come to New York with these expectations? Because we expect you to win the championship.
And if you pull up, you're not pulling up for second and third round stuff.
No, like we're talking finals and we're talking championships. Now the only way I see Ime Udoka telling Houston trade me is that he in his fucking mind, I'm going to win the chip next year.
Interesting.
I know I am.
Interesting.
Because other than that, what's the point of leaving? You're chilling in Houston. But he's the home run hire. But I think they end up with Johnny Bryan. But, you know, there's people saying that New York don't know. And if they don't know, that's going to be scary because I think you should know. If you're going to, like I said, if you're going to fire Tom Thibodeau like this and not give him not give him one more year, it's because you feel like next year the window is too open for you to just wait and see. You firing Tibbs because you saying next year we could dead ass. It's the year, and we're gonna make it happen. So I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna take a chance on any of these things. We're gonna go all out,
and all out we will go, my brother, to the promised land. Hopefully, it's not enough.
Because the Eastern Conference Finals is not enough.
Listen, man.
Oh my God!
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yo, facts.
We'll be back here.
Yo, we'll
sooner than
be
later.
fucking back,
locked.
bro.
Gangster, it's your boy.
Jalen Brunson.
It's not enough.
Oh my God. Oh, that was great shoots, bro.